It's time for the Albertville Aggie Coach Bert Browne Show. Every Wednesday night, you can tune into Power 107.5 with your host, Aggie play-by-play announcer, Barry Galloway, live at Legends in the Crossroad Mall in Albertville. For the next hour, Aggie head coach Bert Browne will be joined by other Aggie coaches and Albertville players, and we'll talk Aggie football. Now let's go live to Legends in Albertville, here on Power 107.5 FM.
And welcome to Legends of Barry Galloway. Keith Baldwin with you tonight. John Gladden the night off. That means Coach Browne gets to speak about 30 minutes longer than normal with John taking the night off. So John won't be with us tonight. Coach Browne, hey, glad to have you with us again, Coach.
It's great to be here. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, we enjoy this.
All of our football team.
Yeah. Now, you sitting here tonight is going to be completely different than if you were sitting tomorrow night with Nick Saban and his show. Hey, Coach, you imagine his questions tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'd like to be in his shoes because I make a heck of a lot more money.
Absolutely.
So I can handle that. Yeah.
Well, Coach, we got to say thank you again to Legends of Albertville. I mean, last Wednesday night was amazing. The crowd we had coming here, taking care of the Aggie players and the coaches. They've really gone above and beyond over the past few weeks.
They have. I mean, I really do appreciate that. I told them there were some non-football players in here that trying to act like football players that ate for free, and he did a good job, and we appreciate him feeding the football team and others.
Well, we've got some players who will be joining us in a few minutes. Who will be joining us tonight, Coach?
Got Hunter Smith, Maddox Beck, Hunter was our offensive player of the game, and then Maddox Beck was our scout team player of the week, and Emmanuel was our special teams player of the week. E-Man did a great job on kickoff return,
right?
And so, and then Reed Shepard, he was a basketball player at Kentucky. Reed was our defensive player of the week. He had a real good week on offense. So that's who we got. Reed's not able to be here tonight, but these guys are.
I think you were reading our mind because, Keith, we were talking earlier about some of the players we thought had a great game last week, and I think you brought in the right ones.
Yeah, we definitely covered several of these guys. Hunter Smith, we were really impressed the way Emmanuel Hardaway returned the football this past week and played in cornerback and did a great job. And then you got Maddox Beck that we talked about several times. Coach, going back to this past week with Florence, first want to go into the way they honored JJ before the football game, and the way that they, were more than willing to kind of go along with that pageantry and to celebrate him. Talk a little bit about Florence and their head coach in that class program.
Well, me and him talked before the game, and that happened to him when he was a head coach in Tennessee. He had a young man get killed in a car wreck, and he knew what I was going through, what our football team was going through, what the families are going through, and so it was a nice thing that happened, and we've got JJ initials on the back of our helmet, and we played extremely hard, and I told the kids after the game there are no moral victories, but we sure did get after it, and we've been getting after it for 3 weeks, and that's a tribute to the guts that these kids have.
We were, like you just said, it's a moral victory in a way, because many people you talked to were wondering, will the Aggies even play this week? And the fact you went out there, not only did you play, I thought you played a heck of a game.
Yeah, I looked up at one point, our two safeties were freshmen. That's kind of a scary thing to be a head football coach and look out 7A football and see two freshman safeties. I mean, as a quarterback, I would like to see two freshman safeties,
Yeah.
And, but our kids are flying around and playing hard, and, we've got a lot of young kids playing, and I talk to them all the time. I talk to the sophomore class about, we've got a strong sophomore class. I talk to them about, hey, get your friends out. Get them out for football. That football is a numbers game. All the other sports, and I loved them. I played them. But you got a great pitcher in baseball, you got a chance. You got two real good players in basketball, you got a chance.
Yeah.
Football, man, it takes a team now. I mean, one guy messes up on offense and you're done, and then defensively it takes one guy and you're in trouble. But we are. That's one thing I preach all the time about getting the numbers out and getting kids out and things like that. If we had all the kids that should be playing, or half the kids in that high school that should be playing, we would have an offensive team and a defensive team. Nobody'd be going both ways, and we'd be 3-0 right now. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And there's talent in that school. We just got to get these kids to play football.
What do you think about, Barry, 2 years ago? No, Coach, I don't know if you've seen film on that, but 2 years ago, Florence beat us like 69-6, something like that. And last year wasn't much better. They wore us out pretty good. Guys came out. Last Friday night, to me, is one of those could be one of the springboard moments for the rest of the season. Guys play extremely hard. Coach, it could have been a 14-7 ball game going into the fourth quarter right there. Without some, couple of bad plays and some bonehead penalties.
Yeah.
But you were talking about some of the 10th graders, some of your sophomore guys, and I actually had wrote a couple of those guys down that maybe we haven't talked about a whole lot in the show. Talk a little bit about Cooper Scott, Keegan Thompson, and Peyton Jones.
Well, Cooper and Keegan are fast kids. Cooper is real fast. But all those guys, one thing about Jones is he plays in a hurry. He's very aggressive and he runs around. The other two do a real good job, and they're fast, and Cooper being the fastest of all of them. And one thing we're trying to teach our kids is, you gotta, there are no plays off. You can't take plays off, because when you do, that's when you get burnt or you get hurt. And that, so, as young as we are, and how it's been here the last 2 years, you're teaching kids how to play fast, teaching kids how to work, how to practice. I really would like to take these guys to a college football practice, and the coaches too. Let them see how that stuff runs. Those guys are moving around. There is no walking. There is no downtime. There's none of that. Coaches are coaching their rear ends off, moving around. I might try to do that in the open week, and one day it'd take us somewhere and watch a college football team practice, because they've got to understand the urgency of practice. And, when you got a bunch of puppies that are playing from the, 8th grader to 9th grader to 10th grader, they've got to understand that. And our juniors and seniors have got to understand that, because that hasn't been modeled for them, obviously.
Does it go back when you first joined us? You talk about one thing you wanted to instill was players leaving the field and coming onto the field. What you just mentioned there about no walking.
Yeah, I mean, there is no, there's no crying in baseball, and there's no walking in football. I mean, you don't walk on and off the field. That's what losers do. That's a defeatist attitude and a defeated look, and so we're always harping on that. And you just have to teach kids, this is what we do, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is how you're going to do it. And so that's just how it is when you take over a place, a program that hasn't been winning. You got to teach kids those things, and we're constantly harping on that stuff.
Go back to the Florence game. They scored 21 in the first half, but 2 of their drives came within starting on inside your 20-yard line.
Yeah.
I mean, you give them the ball pretty much and said, here you go.
Yeah, we have a pick six. We have a receiver that runs too deep of a route. That wasn't on the 8th grade quarterback. That was on 2 receivers.
Right.
Supposed to run a 5-yard hitch and run an 8-yard hitch. When I was playing quarterback, I wasn't starting in the 8th grade, but I know one thing. If the receiver ran the wrong route, called me to get a pick, they were getting talked to the whole way off the field and on the bench. And our inside receiver didn't press the guy that picked it. He didn't press him like he should to hold on to the kid. And when he went inside, he released number 2. That outside backer isn't responsible for the slant, so he took off outside, and that's how he got the pick, because our two receivers that aren't in the 8th grade. One ran a 5-yard route when he's supposed to, or an 8-yard route when he's supposed to run a 5, and the other one didn't press the outside backer enough to give us time to get the football off before that guy ran out and picked it.
Yeah, you gotta, I know exactly what you're talking about. Run up that guy's feet and make him flip his hips, make him do something instead of sitting there.
Right.
Yeah, Coach, going back to your 8th grade quarterback, CJ Zuniga, he's had growing pains, obviously, because he's an 8th grader and he's a quarterback in the team in 7A football. And you think about it, he went from seeing 7th grade defenses last year to seeing these 7A defenses this year. But when he got into the 3rd quarter of the football game, in the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter, it's just like we started to see him grow up in front of our eyes. I think I said that in the interview at the end of the ball game. And man, it just started clicking for him. Everything just started moving and working out for him. Talk about his growth, where he's at now from where he was maybe in the middle of summer where y'all first saw him. It was like, hey, he could be a ball player.
But he used to ask me all the time in the summer, I get that look in his eyes. Am I going to be playing? Yeah, probably. And he's an 8th grader. I wasn't ready to play quarterback in 8th grade on the varsity level. And matter of fact, I wasn't even a quarterback in 8th grade. And so, he has grown tremendously in the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's gotten better. He still asks 8th grade questions. Like me and Coach Karcher, he asked something the other day, and like, what? But you got to remember he's in 8th grade, and that's what we talk to him all the time. We say, CJ, there is no dumb question. Ask. That's what we want you to do, and because, man, he's an 8th grader. He looked real good in the second half.
Yeah.
Speaking of the second half, you're down 21-0, come out and basically it was a 7-6 second half. Second half, I thought you guys played lights out. You held Florence really 7 points.
Yeah, I think our defense played great. We just put our defense in some bad spots early. If we don't do that, that might be a 14-7 football game, 14-6.
Yeah.
But our defense just ran around and played extremely well, I thought, and CJ really grew up in the second half, and he's just getting better every day, and that's what I tell him. Come out to practice every day, get better, every game get better, and just learn from mistakes and move on from there.
Coach, we got time, Bear.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. We've got some players and more to talk with the coach. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show. We're at Legends of Albertville. More coming up next here on Power 107.5.
Legends in Albertville and Guntersville is your place for family fun. Come have dinner with us in Albertville for Tuesday night bingo, 85-cent wings on Wednesday, karaoke Thursday, and live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Guntersville Legends has bingo on Wednesdays, live music on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and karaoke on Friday. Something for everyone at Legends with 2 locations, Highway 431 in Albertville and Legends on the Lake at Valmonte in Guntersville.
Albertville Discount Pharmacy has been providing prescription and healthcare needs to the Sand Mountain area for over 30 years. With 3 pharmacists, Amy Honey, Brett Hogan, and Eddie Campbell, you will feel the confidence their staff provides. They want to be your pharmacy. Phone 256-878-1515 or come by Albertville Discount Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy at 422 North Broad Street in Albertville.
Touchdown, fans! Get ready to score big this football season with FTC's high-speed fiber internet. Say goodbye to lag and stay in the game with reliable and unbeatable internet speeds that you need. Level up your game with upload and download speeds up to 1 gig. For more information, visit farmerstell.com or give us a call at 256-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
I'm Randy Jones with Randy Jones & Associates, your independent insurance agency. We've been proudly serving our community now for over 44 years. We know finding the right protection for you, your family, your business, and your future is important. RGAA is here to help you find with affordable, customized coverage that best fits your needs. Stop by Randy Jones and Associates office or give us a call for a free, no-obligation quote.
It's football time in Alabama, one of the best times of the whole year. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. It often seems like this world is changing so fast every single day, but it's nice to know that fall Friday nights in Alabama are still the same. To all the football players, cheerleaders, and band members, I hope you have a successful, safe, and winning season. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
And welcome back to Legends of Albertville. Don't forget 75-cent wings night. I think Coach Brown's about to do some damage on some of those wings. I heard a new and all from the crowd. Did you go for some extremely hot wings, Coach, or would you?
Yeah, I'm a hot sauce guy, man.
You don't mess around.
I used to have an offensive line coach with me that was about 6'5", 310, and he would go, "Please give me the medium wings." And I would go, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah, that's all right. Hunter's over here cracking jokes. Hunter Smith. We'll get to him in just a second.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about the touchdown drive last week.
Yeah.
Impressive drive, and I thought it couldn't have ended any better. Touchdown pass to Hunter Smith on knowing how the night, the weather was, being good friends with J.J. Now, you couldn't have asked for like a better movie ending on as far as the touchdown itself.
Yeah, it was great. We put a couple good drives together and just couldn't finish a couple of them, and but that was a great drive, and us going down the field, and I don't know how many catches Hunter had. Do y'all have any idea? I can't remember if it was 9 or 11 or what it was, but CJ was whipping the ball around.
Yeah.
He did a great job, I thought, and was throwing those out cuts and things like that. And I was talking to him today. Me and him sat down out there at practice on the bench during defense and just talked. And his arm's going to get stronger because he's going to get stronger in the weight room. He's going to gain weight. He's going to do all those things, and he's learning the game. I mean, I really and truly didn't learn the game because I didn't have what he's got. I didn't have a Division I college quarterback as a head coach and an NFL quarterback as the offense coordinator.
Yeah.
And so he's going to learn tons of football here this year and next year and the next year, and by the time he's a sophomore, he'll know more than a lot of guys that are in college know.
Yeah, Coach, before we move on to the players, I had one more thing from the Florence game going into this week. How are we as far as injuries? I know we're probably going to get Judd Dalrymple back. Anything else? I know Havis was a little banged up in the ball game.
Yeah, everybody's good.
Okay.
We're going to get all those guys back, and they've been practicing, so everything's good, and we'll. It's good to get them back, though. I know that get Judd back because that gives us an extra offensive lineman.
Good deal. Go ahead. Okay with you, Coach. We're going to talk to some players here, give you a chance to enjoy those hot wings in a second. First up, the Maddox Beck. Hey, Maddox. How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Hey, thanks for joining us. You brought a whole cheering section with you. That's impressive.
Yeah, I appreciate them being here, and I appreciate y'all having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us. And we were talking before y'all came in, but if we could handpick some of the Aggies to bring that had a good game Friday night, you're on one of the top of the list because we thought you had a good ball game.
Thank you. I try a lot. I was real tired, but I tried to pull through.
After a game, do you kind of judge yourself when you go home thinking about how well you did, or does that even cross your mind, or you just put it out of your mind?
Yes, sir. I try to go over what I could have done better, could have done worse, about an hour of thinking or so, and then after that, I just put it aside on to the next day.
So how do you think you did last week overall?
There were times when I did good, times I did bad. You just got to take both of them, take the good and the bad, and move on.
Coach Wiley's here. What about Maddox last week?
He really, Maddox is a guy that goes 100 miles an hour. And like I said, he was our scout team player of the week, and then he got in the game and got after it.
Yeah.
So, he's a kid that the weight room is going to be Maddox's friend. Because he will gain weight and size as we go with with Coach Halford. I mean, Coach Halford's a great strength coach, and that you'll see dividends on Coach Halford here in the next year, next football season, because he was only here a year before this. And so you're going to really see a different looking kids this time next year. That they won't look the same because of our weight program.
Can you tell the difference, Maddox, in the weight room from, like, say, a year ago to today?
Oh, yes, sir. Big difference.
Yeah, so Maddox, you're a 10th grader, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, and just seeing you walking around and what we call just walking around size, Maddox has got a really good frame. Looks like you're talking about, Coach. He's got some room right there to fill out. Maddox, talk a little bit about what it means to be the Scout Player of the Week and the honor that kind of comes with that, because you're getting noticed by Coach.
I really appreciate them noticing me out on the field, because I really do go 100% every play that I can. And I mean, without us, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second.
The scout team, nothing happens.
That's exactly right.
They've got to get us ready, get the guys that are playing a lot ready.
I was when Coach Poole was here, I was a scout team coach, so I was for the special teams and for defense, and I always had to give them a look. And I'm telling you, man, I was always trying to find guys that wanted to do it, that wanted to step up and that wanted to do the scout team stuff, younger guys that you knew had a future in front of them as a ball player. But when they'll volunteer and jump out there and do the extra stuff with the scout team, that really goes a long way in a coach's eyes. Talk a little bit about being out here this year with the coaching staff you have, the new coaches coming in, and we've talked about how great your offense coordinator is, being an NFL guy, and how well coaches do, and just talk about that aspect of them coming in and how they've made you a better football player so far.
Oh, we've got a great coaching staff. I love all of my coaches. They've been teaching me a lot of things. I mean, obviously, there's Coach Oliver on the defensive side of the ball, and then Coach Nelson being brought in for the offensive side of the ball. I mean, it's just a big improvement over the past, just since we brought all of them in. And I don't know what else to say about them except I love them all.
What about the next 2 years, position-wise? What position would you like to play if you had a choice over the next couple of years you'd like to see yourself playing?
I really like playing defensive end. I feel that it's what I'm built for better. And, I don't know. Coach Oliver's got me really into it.
Well, you look good Friday night. We appreciate what you did. It was a tough week for you guys, but it's got to make you feel good the way the community reached out and just helped you guys last week.
Yes, sir, it did.
Yeah, real quick, we kind of ask our football players a couple of just kind of personal questions when they get up here. So who would be your favorite athlete? Just college, pro, whatever.
Favorite athlete, like current playing?
Don't matter. We've had some say older or most say Coach Brown, so it's entirely up to you which way you want to go. No pressure, though.
Yeah, don't put me on the spot like that. I really like Deion Sanders right now.
Yeah. Coach,
big on him.
I think player-wise and now coaching-wise. It's amazing what the guy's done.
Yes, sir. He's absolutely, so far, through 2 games, turned Colorado around. What about music? What kind of music do you listen to?
Music, I'll listen to basically anything that isn't just mumbled, that isn't just straight hard rock.
Gotcha.
Like death metal, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. I got you.
Well, Maddox, we appreciate what you've done. Looking forward to seeing you play Friday night.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me on here.
Well, should have some food out. I think Emmanuel's ready now for his radio debut. He fixed his hair. You do understand this is radio, right, Emmanuel? And joining us now, we talked about him a lot last week. Emmanuel Hardaway, how you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good. Hey, like we were saying, we could pick 3 guys to come in tonight. You're one of the ones that had a good game Friday night.
Thank you.
So what are your thoughts on it? We asked Maddox, when the game is over, do you kind of think about what you did during the game, did good, did bad, or you just completely forget about it?
I think, it's after the game, I think I could have done a lot of things better.
Sure.
But there's sometimes, where I think and go home, and it's I watch film, and then it's okay, I got to do this way better than what I did last week. And then I just...
What things are you really wanting to work on the most right now that you really want to improve on? What part of your game do you want to work on the most?
My backpedaling. Backpedaling.
Oh, I can get a little technical right there.
Yeah.
Emmanuel had a great night returning kicks. Is this the first year you've returned kicks for us?
Yes, sir.
All right, so talk about that, because you're kind of, I know you got a guy back there with you a little bit if they kick it to the other side, but talk about you being the guy out there and having to return the ball. What goes through your mind when you catch it? Are you trying to just get upfield and then make one cut, or are you trying to make something special happen?
Just go.
Just getting it?
Just go.
I got you. Yeah, hey, I'll tell you a real quick story about Emmanuel. When he was in first grade, I was a PE teacher over there.
He looks the same.
He looks the exact same. He was about that size, too.
Yeah.
But I texted our head coach at the time, and I said, hey, Coach, got one coming. If you hang around. Of course, we've had like 4 coaches since then, but it's awesome to see him out there. It's senior year, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to see you out there. I tell you, one thing I've been impressed with Emmanuel coach this year is the way he tackles at the cornerback spot. I just something sticks out in my mind. He had, it might have been like a student body right coming at him, and he's able to kind of slip under the first guy that got to him and get a guy by his ankles. He's made a lot of tackles this year.
He has. He's done a real good job. He's gotten better every week. That's one thing we talk to the kids about all the time. You got to get better every day. Every Friday night, you got to play better than you did the Friday night before. So he's done a real good job. He did a real good job returning. And, one of the things on kickoff, you can't dance on a kickoff. Right. You get tackled. And he hit that crease and took off. That's what you got to do.
Speaking of speed, let's rate your speed. On the team, who would you say is the fastest Aggie on the field? If you had to put, Hunter's saying it's him. You say
it's definitely the Hunter.
Where would you put yourself, in the top 5 or top 10? Where would you rank, you think?
Top 10.
Top 10? Who would be the fastest Aggie out there?
I'm going to go with Dez.
Dez, okay.
Dez.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you got another big game coming up this week. I appreciate you joining us, and hey, thanks for taking time. And I would pass over to Hunter Smith. You got another one, Coach?
I got to ask him, what's your favorite music?
Oh, I forgot to ask you the main thing. First of all, your favorite athlete. Yeah, who do you like? Okay.
Yeah. Somebody the game after.
Now, music, what do you like to listen to?
Morgan Wallace.
You go.
I like that. No, I'm not.
I was calling him out on this. Well, you get a chance to heckle Hunter now.
Give it to Hunter.
Yeah, all right, give it to Hunter now. It's Hunter's turn. Don't leave him, man. You stay here and give it all you got. Yeah, all right, Hunter, you asked for it. Join us now, Hunter Smith. Hunter, man, I tell you, the first 3 games, you've just shown out. Great first 3 games.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here tonight. Coach, you'd like to say something? What are your thoughts on Hunter?
Hunter has been really good. Me and Hunter talk all the time about Hunter has got a huge ceiling, I think, and he's got, I on him all the time about practice habits and how you practice and stuff like that. He's got very good ball skills with the ball in the air. Not a lot of people do. That's a gift, like a outfielder in baseball tracking a ball, but he's got real good ball skills, and he'll come up and strike you on defense, filling the alley from safety. So, he's doing some good things for us.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw he play basketball the last couple of years. Great basketball player, Hunter. But when he's going up for a catch, it's almost like he's going up for a rebound.
Yeah.
Your timing.
Yeah.
You kind of do it the same way. Is that what in your mind, Hunter?
Yeah.
It makes me think he's going the way you did in basketball, going up for a rebound at the right time. Your timing gets it.
Well, I was going to say it's basically the same skill, especially if you're going up and you're catching a high one. You're taught to high point the ball, whether you're rebounding a basketball or you're catching a football. Hunter, talk a little bit about offense versus defense. Which one do you like better right now?
I couldn't pick, to be honest. I guess I couldn't pick. I would just like being on the field, to be honest.
I got you. So I'm going to embarrass Hunter a little bit too, like I did Emmanuel. Yeah. So I was his PE teacher back in the day too, and Hunter had the nickname. I nicknamed him the Alabama Wild Man after the Jerry Reed song because my man in first grade was hard to deal with. I'm going to be real honest with you. He is
It's like herding cats.
Holly bum. Yeah, but he was like that cat that somebody gave a 5-hour energy to.
Yeah.
He looked like a bouncy ball bouncing off the wall and the floor and everything. Of course, I've known Hunter's. I graduated Hunter's mom, and then his dad was a little bit older than me. One question I do have to throw to you, and I know y'all argue about it all the time.
I'm better.
I was going to say, who's a better ball player?
I'm better. I got him beat. We compare highlights all the time. It's not even close.
Yeah, but you've got way more highlights now than your dad did back in the day, unless he got all phone games from Horizon.
Oh no, I got through his high school career on the CD. I went and watched every one of them. Good for you.
Yeah, Rodney was a heck of a ball player, and Hunter might be a little bit more of an athlete than his dad was, but his dad was a hard-nosed football player. He was a ball player.
That's what Coach Mack says.
Yeah, and Coach Mack would know. Real quick, I guess we'll go to the favorite athlete, Hunter.
Odell Beckham.
He's he just signed with Baltimore, right?
Yeah, he's with the Ravens now.
Yeah, he's trying to do some stuff over there. What about music?
A little bit of everything, really. Depends who I'm with. Like E-Man, he said he liked country music, but every time I'm with him, as soon as I cut the country music on, he get mad. So so that's how I know he lying. But yeah, just a little bit of everything.
Gotcha. I got to say the touchdown Friday night. I know it was an emotional week for you guys, but to me, that was a special moment when you caught the touchdown pass.
Yeah. I was really hoping to do something like that, especially with the week we had. I was hoping I could get something like that.
That's the entire drive. It looked like you weren't maybe 100%, maybe just a little banged up, but I could tell nothing's going to take you out of that drive.
Yeah. I was coming off a concussion. I mean, I told myself I was going to play, so I was playing that whole game. I didn't really care how bad I was hurting.
Yeah, I know what Coach wants you to say in this one. If you had to choose football or basketball, what's your favorite sport? Football. There you go. There you go. We appreciate what you do, man. You're fun to watch. Every time you're on the field, you give the Aggies a spark. I mean, anything can happen. You remind me, seriously, of some of the Clemson receivers over the year. If they throw the ball anywhere near you, you're pretty much going to catch it. You're like that dependable receiver, Coach. When he gets open, does his job, if it's thrown anywhere near, he's going to make the catch.
Yeah, like I said, he's got very good ball skills, and it's only going to get better. That's what I was talking to CJ about today, too. Hey, after the season's over, you're the guy that needs to call these receivers up and say, hey, let's go throw.
Yeah, real quick, I know we may be about ready to go to break, and I'm not going to ask you to say anything, but I just wanted to say that the moment where JJ's mom came down to the field after you scored the touchdown and you got to hug her neck, and it was unfair on me because Barry and them are throwing down to me live on the radio, and they're like, hey, Keith, did you see that moment? And I'm like, yeah, but I can't talk about it because I got tears running down my face. But what a special moment that must have been for you.
Yeah, it meant a lot because she's like kind of like a second mom to me. Me and JJ grew up playing together. We started playing together when we were 4 or 5 on D team. So, like I said, like she kind of half raised me. She's watched pretty much every football game I've ever played. She's probably been there. And, it's just, it meant a lot. So.
Well, Hunter, we appreciate you. And one thing we can ask is try to get Emmanuel to listen to more country music because that way what he's saying is true.
Especially Morgan Wallen. I don't even think he knows who that is. He just saw it on my radio when he got in the truck. He can't name a song.
It's just all the time, right?
It is all the time.
Well, I appreciate it.
It is all the time. A funny story that Hunter told Sunday about JJ is, when he was a little kid, of course, he's the biggest joker around. And his mom had to drag him to football. He wanted to play in a band. Hunter told that story. His mom said, no, you're not playing in the band. You were too big to play in the band. You're playing football. Crying.
It's not as big as his mom is. That's we're 4 or 5 years old. He was sitting there kicking and screaming and saying, Mama, I don't want to play football. I want to be in the band. she's sitting there screaming at him, saying, "You're too big to be in the band."
You honored him with a class Friday night, and the whole team did. We appreciate what you done. Appreciate Emmanuel showing us his playlist this week. Did have country music?
This is 24/7. This is what I deal with every day.
They like to lie. Me and Coach Brown got to get them straight.
Son, we appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more. Come out and join us. We're at Legends. Do it every Wednesday night. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones with Randy Jones & Associates, your independent insurance agency. We've been proudly serving our community now for over 44 years. We know finding the right protection for you, your family, your business, and your future is important. RGAA is here to help you find with affordable, customized coverage that best fits your needs. Stop by Randy Jones & Associates office or give us a call for a free, no-obligation quote.
This week at Foodland Plus in Albertville, Angus beef New York strip steak, family pack $7.99 a pound. Bone-in assorted pork chops, family pack $1.79 a pound. California iceberg lettuce, $1.49 each. U.S. number 1 red potatoes, 5-pound bag, $2.99 each. Mandarin or navel oranges, 3-pound bag, $4.99 each. Folgers coffee, selected varieties, $8.99 each. Mayfield Classic Creations ice cream, assorted varieties, 2 for $6. Bar S Red Franks, 12 ounce, 5 for $5 at Foodland Plus in Albertville.
It's football time in Alabama, one of the best times of the whole year. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. It often seems like this world is changing so fast every single day, but it's nice to know that fall Friday nights in Alabama are still the same. To all the football players, cheerleaders, and band members, I hope you have a successful, safe, and winning season. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
Albertville Discount Pharmacy has been providing prescription and healthcare needs to the Sand Mountain area for over 30 years. With 3 pharmacists, Amy Honey, Brett Holgan, and Eddie Campbell, you will feel the confidence their staff provides. They want to be your pharmacy. Phone 256-878-1515 or come by Albertville Discount Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy at 422 North Broad Street in Albertville.
Touchdown, fans! Get ready to score big this football season with FTC's high-speed fiber internet. Say goodbye to lag and stay in the game with reliable and unbeatable internet speeds that you need. Level up your game with upload and download speeds up to 1 gig. For more information, visit farmerstell.com or give us a call at 256-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
And welcome back to Legends of Albertville. Don't forget the 75-cent wings night here. Legends, I want to thank them again for they've just gone above and beyond helping us over the past few weeks. Crossroads Mall, Highway 431, Albertville. Love coming to Legends.
They've been fantastic, man. You know, especially with JJ and all that last week and the crowd they had here. I know Barry talked about earlier. You said at one point in time they had 500 wings or something like that. They were had on the waiting list trying to get cooked.
Last Wednesday night, exactly. And one of the waitresses here said it's the busiest night. She said, but it was one of the best nights.
Yeah.
She said my shirt was soaking wet when I left here. She said it was just a good tired when she got home.
Well, they brought 2,000 wings to the church from the eat earlier
on Monday night. Yeah, absolutely.
So after that happened, yeah, huge shout out to Legends and how great they've been. And they'll come over here 5 times while we're sitting here doing this, making sure we have something to drink. So a bunch of awesome people here. Really appreciate them.
Yeah, so make a point. Join us if you can't be here tonight. We have 30 minutes left. Join us next Wednesday here every Wednesday. Coach Brown, good enough to bring some Aggie players here to join us each week. We may have some more Aggie coaches coming in later on. You never know. But hey, big game coming up. We'll talk to Coach in a few minutes about Sparkman. Sparkman coming to town. Sparkman, I mean, it's a tough region. When you look at the 7A region, Keith, last week they had a win over Austin, which we'll see coming up in 2 weeks. So it just don't get any easier. We'll talk to Coach Brown about that in a few minutes. Right now, I think he's wiping the sweat off from the hot wings. I think we found another Aggie coach, or we pulled somebody in from off the bench here.
Coach is pulling Coach Callahan's arm, going to get him over here, and we'll get him on the headset in just a second. But yeah, going back to Sparkman, they're 3-0 and 1-0 in region play. they beat Austin last week 21-18, and I know that was a very tight game, but I know they shut out Hazel Green and Huffman and put some pretty good points up on them. I know John couldn't be here tonight, but he was texting us some info that they've got a really special running back. Nickname is Drip Thomas. He's very dynamic. And they looks like they play really good defense, shutting two teams out, and they score a lot of points. So it's going to be a challenge, man. It's going to be one of those games where we're going to have to get our best and hope the ball bounces our way a couple of times.
I'm going to bring in Aggie coach Pat Callahan. Coach, how you doing?
Doing good. How are y'all?
I want to throw you a quick story. And we finished the game last week. We're in the parking lot. We were just all the guys were just kind of hanging out. All of a sudden, we heard this scream from a woman going. We thought something had happened because pretty much everybody left. Looked over, and it was your mom, Bonnie, going down the street in a golf cart. I didn't know what happened. Scared the daylights out of me. But
I don't know why she feels the need to come to my house, get my golf cart, and then drive to the ball game.
Yeah. Aunt Bonnie is Aunt Bonnie, and she's always been Aunt Bonnie. Coach, talk about your defense this year, your linebackers, a couple of those guys, and moving over and coaching those linebackers this year.
This is the group that I've got 4 seniors, which I think that's half the seniors we've got. So I'm actually returning the most plays, probably on the defensive side with Xavier. Brian Castro, he's a first-year starter, but he's been with us and working his butt off for 6 years in the program. And then Elijah Felix back from last year. Even I've got a backup, Ethan Owens, that's a grinder. He'll get levitated and bounce off the earth a couple of times, but he keeps coming back. And I got a bunch of fighters. They got a good nose for the ball. They just got to trigger and got to go tackle. But they're a hard-working group of guys. And then I've got 3 or 4 young guys that are sophomores and even some freshmen that are rolling in that probably get 15, 20 snaps a game.
Talk about a Brandon Castro for just a second. He's a little undersized, probably what you'd probably say, a little undersized.
Brian is 5'4", maybe 160 pounds.
I was going to give him 5'7", just because we're on the radio, but I agree with you. But, man, you're talking about a guy that's absolutely giving 130%, and if it's in his vicinity and he get his hands on it, he's just so tough and just plays wide open all the time.
Oh, without a doubt. He reads really fast. His feet look like, we call him, I'd say he does like a little crab walk because his feet just fire. And the way that he takes good reads, good angles, changes direction. But, I mean, he's pretty good, and he's worked for a long time for this opportunity, and he hadn't let it up.
You got a little listening group over here behind you, Coach. See if you name drop.
They're all right there.
Go back to the beginning of the summer and how much improvement you've seen from the summer to now. Here we are, Game 4 coming up. Improvement from your players.
Oh, a ton. So changing schemes, going from this is the 4th defense in 4 years these guys have ran. All different reads, all different keys. So them being able to bounce from one to the other and not confuse this year versus last year or 2 years ago, and just to buy into what we were doing shows a lot about their character and a lot about their coachability and what they can do.
I'm impressed that with a lot of the players are playing both ways, offense and defense, but really injury-wise, you've had a couple of injured Aggies, but overall, I mean, man, some of the hot nights, playing both ways, a lot of the players, you've come out pretty much injury-free.
Yeah, and that's been a big focus even back from the spring when Coach Browne got here. Was like, well, we got, not what you would say 7-8 numbers-wise, so we've got to go. And that's one of those things that we don't give them any room to say, hey, I've got to out you if I get a boo-boo. It's like, well, you're still standing, so you're still going to fight, so get back in the game and let's go.
A lot of that go back to conditioning. Was that something y'all really worked on during the summer?
No, we didn't.
No?
What you would call condition.
Right.
We got more condition out of reps. Because we'd go, 30 minutes a team on offense, get a water break, and we'd turn around and go 30 minutes a team on defense. So we got conditioning through reps and through football conditioning drills and skill work more so than just, hey, let's line up and run some 40s and some 110s and that kind of thing.
Right, yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's hard to talk about this without saying anything negative about the last couple of years, and so I'm not going to do that. But I will say that it does make sense when you say that. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of practice this summer, but the conditioning's there. You can tell the conditioning's there, and they've worked. But running those plays and the contact, you can tell that we're ahead of where we were at this time last year, especially when it comes to tackling. The last couple of years, I think we maybe tried to practice like a college defense to where we didn't tackle a whole lot and go to the ground and hit and that sort of thing. And then, but this year, I can tell a difference just from a fan point of view, the way the guys are tackling and getting after it and just the all-out effort they're bringing.
Yeah, we make sure Coach Harper does a good job of making us tackle every day, whether it be in position or as a defense. We do tackle on Mondays, depending on what the team setting is. Coach Browne has to turn around because he can't stand it sometimes. Seen us beating on each other a little bit, but the offensive guys give us back to us. They run the ball hard, and they make us tackle them because they know that's what we need on Friday night.
Coach, you got some players here wanting to hear the name. Anybody we've missed over here on this table that's wanting to hear you talk about them?
Talked about all of them.
Yes. I think they missed what you were saying, but it was all bad, guys. I mean, no, but well, Coach, this week Sparkman coming in. What can we expect from Sparkman offensively?
They're a good ball team. They're athletic. They're coached well. We've been in it the last couple of years up until late in the game. So hopefully, condition and preparation that we can keep fighting and be in the end and be ready to go.
We heard a lot about the big running back, maybe one of the best we see this year in the region. Is any truth to that, or have you seen that much about him?
Oh yeah, I mean he's a talented kid. Like I said, they've got some good looking folks, but I mean
nobody we can't stop then.
Yeah,
there you go.
We'll do our best.
Coach, let's go off the ball for a second on the family. Now you had a little one last year, right? Year before?
I guess it would be a year before.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Well, I know when she was born, but I can't remember if it was before last season.
I got you.
She's a year and a half. Whatever that puts her.
How's the family?
They're awesome. They're awesome. She sleeps through most of the nights, and she's happy and plays all the time. And so,
when's the next time you're going to come do cards, and you're going to be the man dealing the cards?
We can't talk about that on the radio.
Playing for money. We're out there and having a good time.
I guess whenever the crew comes back into town and my services are needed.
Coach and I go back a long way, and I tried to hire Coach when Coach was at Boaz. I tried to get him back over here earlier than that. I wanted to be my offensive line coach real bad when I was head coach of middle school. Coach Callahan is a fantastic coach, and he's one that I'm so glad we got to hang on to this past year, and I'd love to make him a lifer here. But it is a fantastic job and great family. Like you said, his mama raised him right, and his dad raised him right, but we love him being at Albertville, Coach. We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us for a second.
I appreciate y'all doing this. Enjoyed it.
All right. Thanks, Coach. We'll take another time out. We'll come back with some final words from Coach Browne. Come out and join us every Wednesday from 6 to 7 with Coach Bert Browne here on Power 107.5.
This week at Foodland Plus in Albertville, Angus beef New York strip steak, family pack $7.99 a pound. Bone-in assorted pork chops, family pack $1.79 a pound. California iceberg lettuce, $1.49 each. U.S. number 1 red potatoes, 5-pound bag, $2.99 each. Mandarin or navel oranges, 3-pound bag, $4.99 each. Folgers coffee, selected varieties, $8.99 each. Mayfield Classic Creations ice cream, assorted varieties, 2 for $6. Bar S Red Franks, 12 ounce, 5 for $5 at Foodland Plus in Albertville.
Touchdown, fans! Get ready to score big this football season with FTC's high-speed fiber internet. Say goodbye to lag and stay in the game with reliable and unbeatable internet speeds that you need. Level up your game with upload and download speeds up to 1 gig. For more information, visit farmerstell.com or give us a call at 256-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
It's football time in Alabama, one of the best times of the whole year. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. It often seems like this world is changing so fast every single day, but it's nice to know that fall Friday nights in Alabama are still the same. To all the football players, cheerleaders, and band members, I hope you have a successful, safe, and winning season. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
Legends in Albertville and Guntersville is your place for family fun. Come have dinner with us in Albertville for Tuesday night bingo, 85-cent wings on Wednesday, karaoke Thursday, and live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Guntersville Legends has bingo on Wednesdays, live music on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and karaoke on Friday. Something for everyone at Legends with 2 locations, Highway 431 in Albertville and Legends on the Lake at Valmonte in Guntersville.
Welcome back to the final 10 minutes here. Legends of Albertville. Coach Bert Browne. Coach is finishing up his wings. Man, he put away, was it 25 or 30? I lost count.
35.
It was like a blur.
100 was counting.
Well, Coach, let's talk about the big game coming up Friday. Sparkman coming off a win over Austin. What can we expect from Sparkman Friday night?
Speed everywhere. Size. They can run. The quarterback's a good player. He can throw it. They get it on the perimeter. That's what they want to do, and they want to outrun you. They've outrun everybody they've played. Now, last week was a tough game because Austin's got some players too, so, but they can run.
Looking over the region, I know you gained the game, of course, but overall, where would Sparkman and Austin rank as far as the teams we'll see this year from the region? These will be the top 2 teams coming up?
We're probably played the 3 best teams in the region right out of the gate. Right. That's what I told the kids. I said, so, what we have to do is just get better every day. And every week we play and, learn from our mistakes and get better. And, you wish that the schedule was reversed.
Yeah.
Because these are the 3 best teams. In my opinion, now James Clemens, I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of film on him, but I've watched Austin and Sparkman, and of course we played Florence. And then you compare scores, you look, probably 3 best teams.
Like I asked Coach Callahan, I'm impressed the fact you have to play so many players, offense and defense, but really you've got some injuries, but luckily no season-ending injuries, but you've come out fairly in good shape as far as injuries go.
Well, knock on wood. We need to knock on wood there because we don't have very much depth at all when you're playing freshman safeties.
Can you give credit to anything all that you've done during the...
Well, I don't know. I mean, in the summer, we didn't do a lot of... I'm not a big conditioning guy. I think you get it in practice. That's what I told the kids. We're going to run around, play football, practice football, run during your drills, run when we're practicing. That's when you should get your conditioning in. You shouldn't have to run conditioning if you're doing what you should do in practice.
When you put an emphasis, like you talked about earlier, on when you're practicing a ball game, and that'll translate over into a football game, is that running on and off, that moving around. I was lucky enough to coach under Coach Pruitt here, and we went to Georgia when Jeremy was over there and got to watch Georgia practice football. And then I was a student assistant at Jacksonville State, and I know what that's like. But you're 100% right, and it would be great for some of these kids to go and watch a college practice because they're not just hanging out after practice running up and down the field and running gassers and that sort of thing. Buddy, they are moving at all times. If you're getting a drink of water, you're moving, getting a drink of water.
Well, that's what I tell the kids that say they want to play college football. It's like, as a head coach in high school, you deal with things. Every now and then I'll say to the staff, so you say you want to be a head football coach. If you want to be a college football player, you better learn to practice fast, buddy, or you're going to be gone. I mean, that's the beauty of college football. You get a full scholarship, you got to earn it. And if you don't earn it, it's a 1-year renewable. Gone. So, anymore, heck, they fire coaches after 2 years, which I think is the most ridiculous thing on earth, to fire a college football coach in 2 years, unless he's a straight idiot, and does things off the field. But, you're flying around, you're coaching. In college, there is no standing back there. You better be moving around and coaching, or you're going to find yourself without a job. So, I would like to take these guys during an open date week to a college practice and let them see what it's all about.
Well, I can, from experience, those college coaches. Coach, I was a student assistant. I was on film crew, and we had segments we had to film. We had a script every day. And we would go somewhere else on the field every day. And, buddy, if you weren't where you were supposed to be, they didn't ask you nicely to get where you were supposed to be.
No, at Tennessee Tech, we practice at 6:30 in the morning. And so I'd come into the office about 4:45 in the morning, get the script, and I would script my guys who was in on what play and things, and kind of see, you got certain kids that do things better than others, so you want them in on those plays, and so when the game rolls around, they've run those plays in practice and stuff, and so yeah, it's a different world now. I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot of work at the college level, a lot of long nights, a lot of being away from your family, recruiting, stuff like that.
Let me ask about tomorrow night. I know the building has been open, but it's officially, I guess, grand opening of the kinesiology and the exercise science building. It's like a grand opening. Yeah. How big a impact is that going to be, hopefully, for Albertville sports and the school period over the next few years?
It's great. We've been in there. When it was really hot, we'd stay outside for about an hour, come in for the next hour, and it pepped the kids up, got in a cool environment, helped us have a better practice. We'll be in there in the morning at 6:45. We're doing some offensive stuff, stretching. Then we go out on the field, and then, but we've used it. It's a huge asset, for no doubt. And, tomorrow afternoon after school, we'll practice at 6:45 in the morning. Then the offense will meet after practice, and then defense will meet after school with the kids, and they'll do a walkthrough in there after school. They'll do a defensive walkthrough, and then Friday morning we'll do a team walkthrough in there, special teams, things like that. So that thing is it's unbelievable. It's really, you're not going to miss practice for lightning or anything like that. You just go inside.
This something could be a recruiting tool for all sports down the road. People bringing kids in to have something like this that you offer.
Yeah, you would think with the facilities we have, and if people move in, I know Huntsville's growing, and I live towards Huntsville, and when I come into work in the morning, no matter what time, I've come in at 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and that road, there's people rolling out of here headed to Huntsville to work. And as big as Huntsville's getting, hopefully our facilities and our coaching staff that we have will really, if somebody's going to make a move and move in here, they'll say, hey, I want to go there, because they got great facilities. They got, I was telling CJ, I said, between me and Coach Karcher, we might know every college coach in America, simply because college coaching's a fraternity. As many years as he's coached in it, and I've coached in it. Coach Alford's coached in it. Coach Harper was 22-year college coaching veteran. We know so many guys, and I think that's going to help us get our guys out there, because, I call friends up about teams that we played. Say, hey, this kid at such and such is a good player. You need to be looking at him. So I hope that helps.
Coach, before Barry closes everything up, just real quick on Sparkman, I think if we can limit the big play, because like you said, they got a ton of speed. I think, and you can answer this, be a bend but don't break defense, don't give up that big one, and just try to keep the ball away from them. I think we got a shot.
Yeah, and, they're going to have some big plays because of their speed, but when that happens, we have to react well to that. You can't. Things are going to happen, but it's how we come back off of that, how we react to that, new things. And so, anytime you get all that speed they have, it only takes a crease. But yeah, we've got to limit their big plays. And then we need some turnovers. We need to get some turnovers, and our offense needs to do something with it.
Coach, always a pleasure having you with us. Thank you for taking time to join us.
Yeah. Thank you all for having us. And this is I think it's a great thing for our kids. You know,
I agree.
I appreciate you guys doing it. And I appreciate Legends for letting us have it here.
Giving us a chance to hang out with Hunter and Emmanuel and all the
See
Aggies
just
tonight.
what I have to put up with every day. Yeah.
We have to bring them back just for entertainment value.
And thank you to Maddox Beck also for joining us. Well, Coach, we'll see you again next Wednesday.
All righty.
Join us again next Wednesday night at 6. Come out and join us. We'll be here again. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.